5 years ago we bought this abandoned piece of land in Portugal to try to find another way of living. And since then we've been setting up for base camp and living areas, regenerating the land to protect it from wildfires, and renovating old ruins like this, or this. And in this video we're gonna build the kitchen. Welcome to a new project camp update. Last year we transformed this ruin into a house, and this year we made this roof extension. The idea is to have a shared place for people living in the Midland, so not needing to always go to base camp. Something like a secondary town center, more calm and cozy than the main common areas. For this we want to have a small outdoor kitchen, not to cook big meals but more for a snack or breakfast. We see some challenges because it's gonna be outside in the weather, so it needs to be solid, and the floor is quite irregular. Also, our workspace setup is a bit rough for precise woodworking, so Menno will have to do his best to get a decent result.
Alright, the next project we're going to be working on is the outdoor kitchen for the brick ruin. What I'm going to do is build a wooden frame first, then I will build a countertop for the frame, and I will install some wooden cladding around the frame. So we have our start of the frame. The next step will be to plane the beams, tidy up the wood a little bit, see if I can correct any mistakes, and continue the rest of the frame with fairly square wood. So that should make life a little bit easier. Alright, still looks like a big pile of junk, but it's coming along nicely. So let's continue with preparing some more joints.
Starting to look like a kitchen.
Yeah, it's there's a few gaps here and there, but yep, it's coming along. Alright, so most of the wood for the frame of the kitchen is now cut to size, and the joints are mostly ready. The next step I'm gonna take is to install dowels, not glue them yet, but at least to create some sort of fixed position for the joints.
Quite disturbing all this clamping, but Menno knows what he's doing. Once the dowels are in place, we will leave the frame resting for a bit and start with the countertop.
cut, so the next step, planing.
Seems reasonably flat, so next is to glue them up.
It looks a bit disturbing, but the end result actually seems to be quite flat. So, yippee! Sorry, recording? No? Alright. So next step, cutting the outside cladding. We're gonna set up the miter saw and cut the planks. This is our wood supply for the outside cladding. As you can see, it has a lot of cracks. It's also very wonky. So we'll have to see what we can make out of this. At least it's dry. It's time to trim the planks. We've got the sides so they're nice and straight. So we take a table saw and we're gonna trim them. So after cutting about 70 planks and planing them for about a day and a half, I decided to double check the height of the planks, and yeah, I cut them to a length of 78 instead of 87. I'm definitely not gonna throw away the 70 planks. I think what I'll end up doing is install a trim on the top and the bottom to make sure the planks fit in between, so they still have support on the top and the bottom. Should be fixable, but it's a little bit sloppy and a good start of the day. Glue should be dry by now, so let's see what happens if we remove the clamp and if we did something that actually works or if it fails spectacularly. Alright, so far so good. Looks quite flat. There's very little height difference between the two planks, so it might have been a good result. So now that the first section of the tabletop is complete, we can continue working on the second section.
The process is the same as the previous piece. Cutting the planks to size, plane them, and adjust the edges.
Alright, so now for the big question, will we get a satisfying clicking sound or will it be a sad wobble? Yay! Seems like it's a decent fit. Alright, so we have a few clamps. Seems to be reasonably flat. So now we get to wait for half a day. Let's see what happens. She's glued up. Should give it another half day to dry. Fairly close. So I think this should be acceptable, at least for this setup. Alright, so after the weekend we let these tabletops settle. So for now we're going back to the frame where we can adjust it and start preparing it for gluing. And to do that I have help from Josie.
Hello. Hi, I'm Josie, a furniture and cabinet maker from the US. I am deeply passionate about building resilient communities through mutual aid and collective action. For an example, I manage a tool library in my city that brings together neighbors and empowers people to build with their hands and learn new skills. I am also passionate about sustainable forestry, sawmilling, and natural building. I came to Project Kamp to meet like-minded individuals who have a shared vision of creating a better world and ways of creating more sustainable communities, as well as to share and grow my skills. In the future, I hope to help expand on the tool library by starting a community workshop space where people can come and learn and access tools to build whatever they want. But first, let's continue to work on this kitchen.
So next step of the process would be to move the frame out to the brick ruin to adjust the feet of the frame.
The floor where the kitchen is gonna be placed is quite irregular, so frame legs need to be measured in its final position before cutting them to size.
Doing too much filming them.
Now that we have everything figured out, the frame can be glued together.
Trying to get it done before the glue sets. I'm always stressed in a glue up because it's always a race against the clock. Okay, now that all the legs have threaded inserts and bolts, I'm going to bring the countertops over and cut them to size. Next, I'm going to cut in the hole for the sink. stove insert to the countertop. So you lift off the countertop and then you can cook on it and it'll be hidden most of the time. I'm going to be using leftover material from the pig trailer. So yeah, let's get started.
So while Josie's working on the kitchen, I'm gonna continue with the plumbing. So we want to finish this connection, get it into the Granite Ruin, connect it to the UV filter, route it towards the new kitchen. Alright, we're having some difficulties with the cameras, but this is the result of the connection. We still have to attach it on the inside somehow. And we will connect it to the UV filter that is on the other corner of this room to make sure we have water that's actually safe for drinking. Alright, we just got the UV light connected. Seems to be working. Most of the pipes are in place up until the kitchen, which is still being made. There's a bit of a question of how we're going to get the water into this location. We found a very creative solution. Gonna go right there.
Last thing to do here is connecting the gutters from the roof and the drain for the kitchen, so it goes all the way in the same place.
For now, the system is finished, and this will probably be my last contribution to this project. So good luck to whoever gets to continue this bit, and best of luck to the project. Yippee!
Now that Ben is gone, Josie will finish the kitchen.
Oh, really?
Well, that you needed to ask something about the book?
So next, I'm going to add wood bliss on the frame to protect it against insects. For the finish on the countertops, I have a coat of this UV exterior penetrating oil. I'm going to try to add this on top and see how it goes. Also a penetrating oil, but it has a hard wax on top, so oil will penetrate and the hard wax will seal it on top. Now that the first coat is cured, now I'll do a second coat. As you can see, we have both hot and cold intakes, but for now we're just going to connect the cold water. Now to glue up the bottom panels for the bottoms of the cabinets. Now that the panels are finished, I'm going to screw them in place. Now to attach the base. Here's the front for the gas stove. I made little notches. Now to make all the vertical pieces. So that's it. Wrapped up the kitchen. Pretty solid. Pretty happy with it. Hopefully it will hold up over the winter.
Yeah, let's see. Maybe we can keep you updated on Patreon. If you support us there, you can also get to watch next update in 4K and without ads. And if not, subscribe to our channel and we'll see you again next week. Thanks for watching.